The pink and blue balloons mock me from every corner of the conference room. My colleagues crowd around, their faces beaming with the kind of manufactured joy reserved for office celebrations. I should be grateful. This surprise baby shower is thoughtful, even if the timing couldn't be worse. My name is Annabelle, and 10 minutes ago my phone buzzed with a message that shattered everything. Your husband's in Hawaii right now, with his mother. Thought you should know. I grip my phone tighter, the screen's glow illuminating the unknown number. The message sits there, raw and accusatory, while marketing director Susan drones on about the miracle of motherhood. Speech! Speech! Tom catches my eye from across the room, his familiar face creased with concern. He knows something's wrong. He always does. I'm just so touched, I manage, one hand resting on my 7-month bump. The other still clutches my phone like a lifeline. Really, everyone, this is too much. My voice sounds hollow even to me. Derek had told me he was at a coding conference in Seattle. That's what the calendar invite said. That's what he'd packed for. That's what his mother Margaret had confirmed when she called yesterday to check if I'd remembered to take my prenatal vitamins. Open the gifts, someone calls out. A box wrapped in silver paper appears in front of me. The card reads, "For the future programmer, love, marketing team." I tear the paper mechanically, revealing a tiny onesie with Ketrel Pass C, Cetrel Pass V printed across the chest. Everyone laughs. I force my lips into a smile, but my mind is racing through the past few weeks. The hushed phone calls, the deleted browser history, the way Margaret's eyes gleamed when she asked about my latest ultrasound. Annabelle? Tom's voice cuts through my thoughts. He's beside me now, pretending to adjust the cake. You okay? He's in Hawaii, I whisper, showing him the message. With her. Tom's jaw tightens. You sure it's legit? I nod, remembering the Instagram story I'd glimpsed on Margaret's account this morning, quickly deleted, but not before I caught a glimpse of palm trees. I'd dismissed it then. I'm not dismissing anything anymore. My phone buzzes again. Another message. Check the Four Seasons Maui guest registry. Room 2187. They checked in yesterday. The room spins slightly. Someone hands me another gift, their voices distant and distorted. In this moment, surrounded by celebration, I realize something with crystal clarity. I'm done being the dutiful daughter-in-law, done playing by Margaret's rules, done protecting Derek's lies. Tom, I say quietly, I need your help with something. He meets my gaze, understanding immediately. Whatever you need. The party continues around us, but I'm already plotting. They think I'm just the pregnant wife, too focused on nursery colours to notice their betrayal. They're about to learn how wrong they are. I stare at my laptop screen, the Four Seasons Maui booking confirmation burning into my retinas. Tom's tech skills proved invaluable. It took him less than an hour to hack into Derek's email. The reservation shows 5 nights, ocean view suite, all expenses charged to our joint account. My phone rings. Derek's face appears on the screen and I answer with steady hands. Hey babe, how's Seattle? There's a slight pause. It's good, really busy. These coding workshops are intense. The sound of waves crashes in the background. A woman's voice, Margaret's, calls out something indistinct. Sounds like quite the workshop, I say, scrolling through the email chain between Derek and his mother. Must be nice having an ocean view while you code. What? His voice pitches higher. I don't know what you're... Room 2187. Four Seasons Maui. The same suite you and I stayed in for our honeymoon. Interesting choice. Silence stretches between us. I hear Margaret's voice getting closer. Derek, who are you talking to? It's not what you think, Derek says quickly. Mom needed... Don't. My voice is ice. Don't you dare try to explain this away. I've got your entire email thread with her, planning this little getaway while I'm 7 months pregnant. Margaret's voice cuts in, closer now. Derek, darling, give me the phone. A rustling sound, then her clipped tones. Annabelle, you're being dramatic. Derek needs time to decompress before the baby comes. It's perfectly normal. I laugh. And it sounds foreign to my ears. Normal? Like how you convinced him to miss my last 3 ultrasound appointments for emergency meetings that never existed. Those meetings were important for his career, Margaret snaps. Something you'd understand if you weren't so focused on yourself. This pregnancy has made you completely irrational. My hand rests on my stomach, feeling my baby kick. You know what's irrational? Lying to your pregnant wife about a vacation with Mommy Dearest. Now listen here. No, you listen. The words flow like venom. I've got copies of everything. The emails, the bank statements, the hotel confirmation. Every single lie. I wonder what your country club friends would think about this little mother-son getaway. Derek's voice returns, panicked. Annie, please. Don't call me Annie. Ever again. I pause, letting the threat sink in. Enjoy your vacation. I'll be making some changes while you're gone. I end the call and open my email. The first message goes to our family lawyer, the second to Clara, the third to the HR department at Derek's company, where his precious reputation means everything. They thought pregnancy would make me weak. Instead, it's made me dangerous. The ultrasound technician's face gives nothing away as she moves the wand across my belly. Clara squeezes my hand. She insisted on coming after I told her everything about Derek and Margaret's Hawaiian escape. It's been 3 days, and the emails from their resort keep flowing into Derek's inbox like poison. Would you like to know the gender? The technician asks. Before I can answer, my phone buzzes. Margaret's name flashes on the screen. I decline the call, but her text appears immediately. Derek says you're being difficult. Don't forget who built his career, who built your life. The family name matters. I look at the ultrasound screen, at my baby's perfect profile, and make a decision. Yes, I tell the technician. I want to know. She smiles. It's a boy. Clara's grip tightens. She knows what this means. Margaret's obsession with a male heir, her constant hints about the family name dying out, her thinly veiled threats about my duty to provide a grandson. Actually, I say, my voice steady, could you write it's a girl on the results? Just this once? The technician's eyebrows rise, but Clara jumps in. Medical privacy laws mean you can't discuss patient details anyway, right? What's written on the form is between you and my sister. Money changes hands. The lie takes shape on paper. Later in the parking lot, Clara confronts me. You're playing with fire, Anna. No, I say, touching my stomach. I'm protecting him. Margaret will try to take him if she knows. You've seen how she is with Derek, controlling everything, manipulating everyone. I won't let her do that to my son. My phone buzzes again. This time it's Derek. Mom's worried about you. Just tell her the gender so she can start planning. I end the call mid-sentence and forward the falsified results to both of them. Within minutes, Margaret calls again. A girl? Her voice trembles with barely contained rage. Are you certain? Completely. The lie tastes like victory. I'm sure you'll love your granddaughter just the same. The silence stretches. Then, we'll discuss this when Derek and I return. There are options we should consider. Special doctors who... Are you suggesting what I think you are? My hand protects my belly instinctively. Family legacy matters more than your modern sensibilities, Annabelle. You'll understand once you're properly part of this family. I end the call and turn to Clara, my hands shaking. Record everything from now on, I tell her. Every call, every text, every email. They're not just trying to control me anymore. They're trying to control my baby's future. Clara nods grimly. They won't know what hit them. The pregnancy books never mentioned how exhausting revenge could be. I sit in my home office surrounded by printouts of Derek's emails, bank statements, and the growing evidence of his betrayal. My back aches, and the baby kicks as if sensing my distress. A new email notification pings. From Peter, Derek's father, of all people. Annabelle, I've heard disturbing reports from Margaret. Call me. Before I can respond, my doorbell rings. Through the security camera, I see Margaret standing there, 2 days early from Hawaii, alone. I know you're home, Annabelle. Her voice crackles through the intercom. We need to discuss the trust fund paperwork. What trust fund paperwork? For the baby, of course. Derek signed everything yesterday. I'm just here to get your signature. My throat tightens. Derek signed what? She waves a manila envelope. Nothing dramatic. just ensuring the family's interests are protected. Given the disappointment of a girl, we need to secure certain arrangements. I let her in. A mistake, but I need to see these papers. She settles onto my couch like she's claiming territory. Here. She slides the documents across the coffee table. Sign where marked. I scan the pages, my marketing experience with contracts paying off. Hidden in the legal jargon is a clause giving Margaret and Derek complete control over all medical decisions for the baby. Another grants them custody rights if I'm deemed unstable. You really think I'm this stupid? I stand up, papers clutched in my hand. You're trying to take my baby. Margaret's smile doesn't reach her eyes. We're trying to protect the family. Derek agrees you've been emotional lately, unstable, making poor decisions. My phone buzzes, a text from Tom. Don't sign anything. Found something big in Derek's work emails. Call ASAP. Get out, I tell Margaret. Don't be dramatic. Think about your future, your career. Things happen to difficult women in corporate environments. The threat hangs there and suddenly everything clicks. The special doctors she mentioned. The trust fund. Derek's sudden promotion last month. You're recording this, right? I call out. Clara steps out from the hallway, phone in hand. Margaret's face goes slack. Every word, Clara says, including that lovely threat about my sister's career. I wonder how the board at Derek's company would feel about his mother threatening employees. Margaret stands, mask cracking. You have no idea what you're dealing with. No, I say, touching my belly where my son kicks, safe in his secret. You have no idea what you've started. I watch her leave, then call Tom. It's time to find out just how deep this conspiracy goes. The first contraction hits while I'm reviewing Tom's findings about Derek's company emails. Sharp, unexpected, like the truth about my husband's betrayal. The second follows 7 minutes later. My phone lights up with Derek's call. Perfect timing. The board meeting went well, he says, waves crashing in the background. Mum's connections, really. Another contraction cuts through me. I can't suppress the gasp. Annie, what's wrong? Nothing. I lie, gripping the edge of my desk. Just your child, deciding to make an early appearance. Silence. Then Margaret's voice in the background. Derek, darling, the Sunset Cruise is about to leave. Are you sure it's not just false labour? Derek asks, distracted. The doctor said you weren't due for 2 more weeks. I check the timestamp on the email Tom found, the one where Derek agreed to Margaret's plan to have me declared unfit after the birth, the one where they discussed private paediatricians who would support their custody claim. You're right, I say, breathing through another contraction. Probably nothing. Enjoy your cruise. Clara bursts in as I end the call, takes one look at me and grabs the hospital bag. Tom's downstairs, she says. He's got copies of everything secured. We can finish them after. No, I interrupt, standing carefully. Send it now, all of it. To the board, to Peter, to everyone. While you're in labour, while they're on a boat with no signal. Another contraction, closer now. They wanted a war. Let's give them one. Tom appears in the doorway. Emails sent. Peter's already responding, says he's on the next flight back, and Derek's company board is calling an emergency meeting. I start to respond, but the next contraction doubles me over. Clara grabs one arm, Tom the other. Hospital, Clara insists. Revenge later. In the car, between contractions, I check my phone. Messages flood in. Board members, family friends, colleagues. The carefully constructed facade of Derek and Margaret's respectability crumbling in real time. They'll try to spin this, Tom warns from the driver's seat. Say you're hormonal, unstable. Let them. I clutch my belly as another contraction hits. The evidence speaks for itself, and so will their reactions when they finally get signal and see what's waiting. Clara squeezes my hand. What about the gender lie? I smile through the pain. Some secrets we keep a little longer. Let them think they've lost everything over a girl. The truth about their grandson can be our final card. The hospital looms ahead as my water breaks. My son is coming into this world on my terms, not theirs. And when Derek and Margaret finally reach shore, they'll find their carefully controlled world has already drowned. The hospital room feels too bright, too sterile. 18 hours of labour, and still no baby. My phone hasn't stopped buzzing since the emails went public. Derek's called 17 times. Margaret, 32. The nurse checks my vitals again. Blood pressure's climbing, she murmurs to Clara. My sister's been recording everything. Every medical decision, every conversation. We've learned not to trust anyone connected to Margaret's social circle, and this hospital is crawling with them. Tom bursts in, face grim. They're here. Margaret's pulled strings. They're trying to get access to the maternity ward. Another contraction rips through me. The baby's heart rate monitor spikes. Security's been notified, Clara says, but her voice wavers. They can't. The door flies open. Derek stands there, still in his Hawaiian shirt, Margaret hovering behind him like a vulture. Get out, I gasp through the pain. This is my child too. Derek steps closer. The board meeting's been postponed. We can fix this, Annie. Just retract the emails. Say it was pregnancy hormones. Like the hormones that made you plot to take my baby? Margaret pushes past him. We were protecting the family legacy. You've never understood. Mrs. Anderson, the nurse interrupts. You need to leave. Hospital security. I serve on this hospital's board, Margaret snaps. I'm not going anywhere until we discuss what's best for my grandchild. The monitors beep faster, the room spins. Blood pressure critical, someone says. We need to prep for emergency C-section. Derek moves toward me. I'm staying. I have rights. The only right you have, I manage between contractions, is to know the truth. What truth? I lock eyes with Margaret. Your precious heir? The baby you're so desperate to control? Another wave of pain hits. It's not a girl. The colour drains from Margaret's face. What? Congratulations. It's a boy, and you'll never touch him. The monitors scream. The room erupts in motion. Through the chaos, I hear Margaret's shrill voice. She lied. She manipulated everything. Derek, we can't let her. Get them out, Clara shouts as medical staff swarm in. Now! The last thing I see before they wheel me to surgery is Derek's face, torn between his mother's rage and the realization of what he's done, what he's lost. Record everything, I whisper to Clara as they push me down the hallway. Every word they say, every threat they make. She squeezes my hand. We've got you, both of you. The anesthesia starts to take hold, and I pray I've done enough to protect my son, because if I haven't, if something goes wrong now, Margaret will use it to take everything, and I'll be powerless to stop her. The recovery room is quiet except for my son's steady breathing in his bassinet. Through the window, dawn breaks over the city. Clara's dozed off in the corner chair, phone still recording. 36 hours since the emergency C-section, and Margaret's lawyers have already tried twice to serve papers. The door opens. I expect another nurse, but it's Peter, Derek's father, still in his travel clothes. I came as soon as I could. He approaches the bassinet, then stops. May I? I nod, watching him study his grandson's face. He has your chin, Peter says softly. But Derek's eyes. Peter, I found Margaret's letters, he interrupts. The ones she wrote to her father years ago, before Derek was born. About her own brother, the heir apparent who died young. About her father's disappointment in having a daughter who couldn't carry on the family name. The door opens again. Margaret stands there, Derek behind her. You had no right, Margaret hisses at Peter. Like you had no right to plan taking my son. I counter, pressing the call button for the nurse. We were protecting him from your influence, Margaret steps forward. Peter, surely you understand. I understand 30 years of watching you recreate your father's abuse through our son. Peter's voice is steel. It ends now. Derek moves to speak, but Tom appears in the doorway, tablet in hand. The board meeting just ended. Emergency session. He looks at Derek. You've been suspended pending investigation. The trust fund paperwork has been flagged for fraud. Margaret lunges for the bassinet. You can't do this. He's our legacy. He's my son, I say, forcing myself to stand despite the surgical pain. And I have everything. The emails, the recordings, your threats at the hospital. One move toward him and it all goes public. Not just to the board. To everyone. You wouldn't dare. Try me. Clara's awake now, phone pointed at Margaret. Derek stares at his son, then at his mother, realization dawning in his eyes. "Mom," he whispers, "what have we done?" "What we had to," she snaps. "For the family." "The family?" Peter cuts in. "Or your father's ghost." Margaret crumples, decades of armor falling away. Derek reaches for her, but she pushes past him, fleeing the room. "Annabelle," Derek starts. "Don't." I meet his gaze. "Just don't." He nods slowly, following his mother out. Peter touches my shoulder. "I'll make sure the lawyers handle everything. You focus on him." He looks at his grandson one last time. Give him a better legacy than ours. In the bassinet, my son stirs, oblivious to the war just fought over him. A war won not with weapons, but with truth. And the truth, it turns out, cuts deeper than any revenge I could have planned. The divorce papers sit unsigned on my kitchen counter, next to a letter from Margaret I haven't opened. Through the window, I watch Clara pushing my son's stroller around the garden, showing him the spring flowers she's planted. His laughter drifts up, pure and untainted by legacy or lies. The doorbell rings. It's Derek, thinner now, shadows under his eyes. "The company board made their decision," he says, hovering in the doorway. "Permanent suspension. Mom's not taking it well." "That's not my concern anymore." He nods toward the unsigned papers. "You haven't filed them." "I wanted you to see what you're giving up first." I moved to the window, watching our son. He rolled over yesterday, started reaching for toys. Every day there's something new you're missing. "I could fight for custody." "But you won't." I turn back to him. "Because deep down you know he deserves better than what your mother did to you." Derek's shoulders sag. "Dad's leaving her. Says 30 years of enabling is enough." He pulls something from his jacket, a small, worn book. "Found this in his study, Mom's childhood diary. I don't want to know her reasons. Maybe not, but someday he might ask why his grandmother never wanted to know him. Why his father chose her over him." He sets the diary beside the divorce papers. The truth might help him understand it wasn't about him. It never was. Through the window, Clara waves up at us. My son's tiny hand mimics her motion. Uncoordinated, but perfect. "I did love you," Derek says quietly. "But I never learned how to love without conditions, without proving something." "I know." I pick up a pen. "That's why I'm signing these. Not for revenge anymore, but because some cycles need to end." He watches me sign, then adds his own signature without hesitation. "Mom wants to apologize." "No." I hand him the papers. "Tell her to put it in her diary instead. Maybe in 30 years I'll read both of them and understand. But right now, understanding isn't what he needs." I glance toward the garden. He needs protection from becoming another link in her chain of damaged children. Derek moves to leave, then stops. "You won. Everything you wanted." "No," I say, watching Clara lift my laughing son toward the cherry blossoms. "I got everything he needed." There's a difference. The door closes behind Derek. I pick up Margaret's unopened letter and the diary, storing them in a box marked with my son's name. Someday he'll choose whether to open them, but today I choose to join him in the garden, where legacy means nothing and love means everything.